Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Chicken and I are having some Discord issues today. So, if Chicken looks like a robot, he won't sound like one because he'll have a separate audio track. But he might look like one. I'll probably be mostly okay, though, because I'm recording on my side. So far, the other two seem to be fine. I mean, I don't know what internet providers you guys are paying off to be all good, but
Well, I mean,
whatever.
to be fair, I've been battling mine for almost 2 weeks now, and this is the first day that it's been good. So
You could have it. I went through years of battling with them.
Well,
I'm not dealing with it anymore.
I had a long week, so I do not have a discussion topic planned out. I'll just be completely honest and throw myself under the bus there. I just didn't.
Beep beep.
Yeah, beep beep. So I didn't have anything prepared to talk about today. But I will tell you a fun story from this week's stuff that we played, which is, same stuff as usual. We played some Phasmophobia this week, but Chicken found a randomizer that lets us play it like with specific rule sets, essentially. That's scary for me because I'm already scared. And there was one, not this last time that we played, but the time before that, the first time we played with this rule set, one of the modes is called lights out. So you can't have flashlights. Like, you can't have this weak flashlight or the strong flashlight or the UV flashlight. So you have to use glow stick for that stuff. And we had, like, certain items that we could have on top of that. And I had, like, a camera and an EMF detector, like a video camera, an EMF detector, and something else. And so I didn't have a flashlight at all. And it was me and Chicken and Cat and Baka on the prison. A thermometer, that's what I had. And I was walking around trying to find the temperature spots. But I was having to stick to Chicken because he had a flashlight that he could use. And that was my light source. Baka had a candle, I think.
But I think it was classic rando. It was classic rando. It wasn't lights out.
Okay, so yeah, you had a flashlight. And Baka had a candle. And Kat had something that I think had a light
candle
source.
too.
She had a candle, that's what it was. So I'm trying to, like, stick to... And it's in the prison, which is scary anyway, because it's big and it makes, really creepy ambient sounds and whatnot. But not having a flashlight or anything, like... And the prison's huge. We didn't know where the power was at, so we're walking around in the dark for, like, 5 minutes. And then at one point, like, Baka had gotten split off from us, so it's me and Chicken and Cat. And I was like... Kat, I think, was the first one to say, did you hear that? Because I think we heard the door lock. Like, the door click to know that it's hunting. But we don't, have anything that's blinking or anything on us. And I was like, did you hear that? Because I heard stomping. So we, like, the ghost is hunting. And we don't know where it's at because we don't really know where we are. And I don't have a flashlight. And I'm just trying to follow. Like, at one point, we're trying to get to escape, and Chicken went into a room, and Kat and I went in there with him, and then he came out of the room, but I didn't see him leave the room, and it's a room that has a window open to see, like, the next little area, and I'm standing there with what I thought was Chicken, because I was like, are we just gonna hide out in here, I guess? And then I saw the flashlight in the next area, because Chicken had gone out and was going, like, continuing on towards the exit, and Kat and I were just standing in the room in the dark by ourselves. Oh my god, it was so scary because you can't see anything, and it's hunting because you can hear it, but you don't know where it's at. There's nobody, like, in the van to tell you anything. Oh my god, it was awful. We lived though. Baka didn't. I think Baka died in that one, didn't you?
I died in that one. I also died in, I think it was the next one where we were in the house. And
I died on the
I was
prison.
the only source of light. But
yes.
Because the ghost was in the bedroom, but for whatever reason, when it started its hunt, it decided it wanted to spawn outside on the stairs next to me and instantly killed me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that one.
I
That
had
one
my
was
first. Which one?
That one was Safari mode.
Yeah, you have to take a picture of the ghost to get to use an item or something like that. Like,
No, you either have to complete an objective or get a verified picture, and when you get a verified picture or complete an objective, that person gets an item rolled, and then they can add that item to their list of things that they're allowed to use.
Yeah.
That's why it's one person with a flashlight and 3 cameras. You got the beacon, and then you have the 3 people on safari walking through the house trying to get pictures.
But we played again Friday night, I think it was, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna do the investigation stuff, and I'm gonna be cool. And the first like one that we were doing where we didn't have stuff, I want to say it was a lights out, but I can't remember. I just know I didn't have a flashlight. And I was trying to use the candle, like I was looking at the floor the whole time because I couldn't see anything with the candle around me. So I was just navigating out by finding a wall and going. But Red and I were close to, like, the ghost room was in the hallway in one of the farmhouses in the back hallway. And it started hunting. And I was like, this is how I die. I have no flashlight and I don't know where I'm at. So I threw down my candle because that's my immediate response to anything scary in that game, is just to yeet the item in my hand. And I was like, oh no, I think I'm in the living room. I'm trying to find somewhere to, like, a wall so that I can figure out where I'm at. And I'm like, oh no, I'm on the other side of the couch and it's right, I can hear it. It's right next to me. I'm about to die. I'm like hiding behind the couch because I can't see anything and it can't go anywhere. I lived though. I lived. It gave up. It didn't find me. And I was like, yes, I'm feeling bold. I can do this. I'm going to live. We played one on Nightmare like 1 or 2 games later. And I hate it because Red had gone AFK, so he missed it. But it was me, Back, a cat, and Chicken. And I don't remember if we had flashlights or not. But it started hunting. And Chicken was like, oh no. It immediately got him. And
no, it didn't. I walked... Okay. And it did not immediately get me. It was in the kitchen. I was over by the storage, and I saw that it was hunting because I was the only one left in here. And I saw it start trying to walk out of the kitchen, and I was like, oh shit, it's going to go after them. So I was just started yelling at it, and it turned around and came after me, and it grabbed me, and I started like walking as far away as I could, and I got to the other side of the island. And I was like, get the fuck out. I had taken a picture
of that. Of the ghost chasing Chicken in the kitchen. So
and I was like, get the fuck out, run,
well,
run, get out, because I was like, all right, it's on Nightmare.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I was not thinking about it being on Nightmare, but I heard the sound of it getting Chicken, and he's like, get out. I was like, oh, he wants us to leave the house, and I was almost to the stairs to go up, so I turned around because I thought that's what he meant, and immediately the ghost grabbed me, and I was like, oh no.
All 3 of these cluckers decided to go to the door.
I was trying to go up the stairs.
I was going to the stairs as well.
And that shows how much you know that there was a hiding place right there at the bottom of the stairs.
I don't
behind the bookshelf.
Spend a lot of time in that house, so I didn't know that.
That's why you always created an emergency plan. I gave you plenty of time sacrificing myself. I was like, all just 3 of us, get out.
Like, I saw, like, I came up in the ghost view and I just looked down. I was like, who's gonna take a picture? Oh no, because it was like Baka's body, my body, and Cat's body right there together.
Like, after I died, I walked out because I wanted to see where they were hiding, and I just saw 3 dead bodies sitting in front of the door, and I was going, your sacrifice was not worth it. Next time, I'm just gonna go fucking hide.
But I finally died.
Yeah, I finally died. And I didn't know, like, this is how unexperienced. We're, like, level 600 and something. And I was like, okay, well, here's the next map. Oh, no, why can't I put any of the items in? Because when you die, you lose your items. And I didn't know that because I've never died.
She's never died. I gotta wonder how much money Grif had.
I spent a bunch to get items in case it happened again. Oh, man. But I did it. I was brave. Had my first death. Still brave, though. I did it. I did the thing.
Look at you being brave.
I was a grown-up. I did it. It was fun, though. The challenge mode thing makes it interesting because it's kind of like making it new, but it's also very hard. No flashlights? No. Miss me with that. Thank you. That was my fun gaming story, though. I finally died. Yep. Like, over.
My fun gaming story is I finally died.
It's like a year and a half. Are we 2 years to this game almost?
2 years in
yes.
October, right?
It'll be 2 years in October.
Aw, I should have
think
made
they
it to the
released in
2-year anniversary
2020.
and then died. Damn.
There are people that are like over level 1,000 and have never died.
Yeah, you should have planned your death better. I just can't believe you right now.
She's like, whatever. I'm just gonna die just to experience it and get it out of the way.
I only died once though.
I had a little bit of gaming going on. Like I've said, I've been having internet issues. But I wanted to get the new storyline in for Sea of Thieves for season 6 before season 7 started. So Old Man and I decided to play a little bit of it, and they've got this thing where, okay, so Golden Sands, the whole storyline is from like the very first episode. I think we're on 4, something like that. Was that something happened to Golden Sands? It looks like a big battle was there. All the stuff got wiped out on Golden Sands outpost, so you can't. And it's got this big cloud around the outside of it, and you've got this continual thing that's supposed to be changing the environment. Well, now they've got it to where Merrick, who, if you remember, Merrick is the guy that when they first introduced the Megalodons,
Yeah,
that was the guy that we dealt with, and then he was in charge of the hunters. And the hunters are like when you fish or you kill a pig or a chicken or whatever, and you take and turn that meat into any of the sea posts, that's part of his family. It's all of Merrick's family.
Okay.
And so he is wanting to rebuild Golden Sands, and then you have Captain Flameheart's crew, which are the Reapers as we know them. They're called Servant of the Flame, though, I think is their real name. And the Servant of the Flames want to destroy and create chaos within the world of Sea of Thieves. And so they give you 2 missions. You get to decide if you want to help Merrick and rebuild Golden Sands, or if you want to help the Servant of the Flames.
And
So we decided we were going to start off with the Servant of the Flames one, just like, because you have a whole checklist for both of them, and you have deeds where you have to do both sets anyway. So we're just like, well, we'll start with this one.
Okay.
So Old Man and I get on there, and we go, okay, let's do this. We get to Reaper's hideout. We get to Reaper's hideout. They hand us a boat that is like, it's a regular rowboat, but it has a big, huge boom barrel on the back of it that looks different than normal. And it's like you need to row from point A to point B and get there. And we're like, okay, well, we'll just park the boat, our boat, outside of the area, and then we'll just drop the boat and go up to the island that we need to, and then that'll spawn whoever we need to do it. And so that's what we did. We got out. This dude comes out of a bush, hands us some stuff. We're like, okay, this worked. You know, so
We
put
caught
it
a
back
bush,
on, put it
you're
back
good.
on the boat, then we're going to head to the next one, do the same thing. Well, when we got to the second island, another one of these rowboats is just kind of sitting there.
Okay.
And the way that we had parked our boat, for some reason, it wouldn't let you, you know, for rowboats on shore, you can go up to it and it'll say push rowboat so you can get it to the water. It wasn't prompting that. So I was like, well, we'll just use the other boat because it's here. And all they're saying is doing this boat. So we switched boats. And we took said boat to the next part. And then we did the final part of the mission and finished it. We got credit for it in our deeds. We did not get credit for completing it, though.
Weird.
It didn't strike it off the thing, so it didn't complete the mission, even though we got credit for it. It was very, very weird.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, I don't understand why this was a thing. But then you start going down to different islands, and there's boats are everywhere. All of these rowboats are everywhere. So Old Man, I was going up to one of the boats, and you can light that barrel at any time you want to. You just run up to it and hit it real quick. And I knew Old Man was on the way, and Old Man can't hear. I love him. He cannot hear in a game because, especially when we're playing and we're using Discord to talk, because he's having to use one audio or the other, so he can't like turn it up and listen, right? So I run over to it quickly and immediately hit the button to light it and go running off.
Aw.
And he comes la 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 la, and boom, blows up. He's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What I get hit by? What?"
You're a dick.
I went over, and so I let him back up because I mean you can revive your friends now. Like it's not like the good old days when we just used to blow people up that were holding barrels, you know. So we had that, and so I did that for him. Well, then we were searching for different stuff because I have this thing where I shoot myself out and get onto islands to pick up as much fruit and wood and everything else. So I'm replenishing the boat as we go, right?
Okay.
But they also give you credit for touching every island. So I'm doing that too because I can't remember which islands I touched. I'm like 36 islands out of 74 in, and I have no idea what I've touched. So I killed a Skelly Captain, and the Skelly Captain had a map. It had 2 X's on it. One X was like a small trinket. The other X was a stronghold barrel. So the mega barrel that will blow up like your whole ship if you
Yeah,
accidentally blow it up.
Don't do that.
And I was like, okay, because you can now rebury things in the game. But what I didn't know is that if you bury a barrel, it becomes a trap. So I have a mega
No.
barrel in the ground, went to go get it, and old man had come back up with our boat and get it. And I was like, oh shit. And I go running as fast as I possibly could. And it explodes. Old man was far enough away because he'd gotten off the boat. He was far enough away to where it hurt him. It barely hurt me, but it did knock me out far enough. But I just saw our boat move and start selling off kind of. And I was like, no, we've blown up our boat. It's going to sink. So I'm like swimming as quick as I can. The boat was fine, but I was so scared. I just blown up our entire boat.
That's funny.
We had all this stuff sitting on an island. It was awful. So then we went and did the regular Merrick one. Both are really short. Like you could probably once you figure out what to do, you could probably do both of them like within an hour. Like there's really short. These little missions are very, very short. But I am I'm not really sure what they're planning on doing with the world.
Okay.
Like because I'm thinking that they're trying to take it to where if more people choose the servant side, that they're going to destroy Golden Sands completely and eliminate that from the map in some way and do something different there.
I think it's going to be another Reaper hideout.
Maybe. I just don't really know. They have been building at every single one of the outposts. They've been building something new on one of the other docks, you know, like each one of them has the main dock and then there's like this partial dock that's kind of out there on most of them. This is being an add-on to each one of them. And we don't know what it is. The last thing, like they've added at one point it was I think it was a harpoon gun or a cannon or something that they had out there with wood where you could see like tools and stuff where they've been building something. And then the next one was like, it's the next season, it has like a mast from a ship laid down there, and I'm like, what are they doing? Like, are they building an extra part of the hideout? Does it have something to do with what's currently going on? Like, if Merrick is the one that wins, we get some, like maybe the hunters now have a location on each outpost instead of having to go to a sea post to turn in fish. If the Reapers win, do they have a way to turn stuff in? Like, what is the point of this thing? I need to know. So it's very interesting. We were very lucky. We saw hardly anybody.
That's good.
Knock on wood. The entire time we played, hardly saw anybody and never got attacked. And it was like we played for a while, like just playing around in the game. So it was kind of nice to play right 3 or 4 hours and not have to deal with anybody, which I'm very surprised about. I almost feel like that they put this mission in so somebody would go, oh, they've got that rowboat thing. I don't want them to blow up Golden Sands, so I'm going to go PvP them. Or the opposite. Oh, they're going from this island to this island, So they must be trying to save Golden Sands, but I don't want them to do that. So let me blow them up, or something. But
trying to force the conflict.
Right. And, but it was fun. I enjoyed playing the game with Old Man, and hopefully my internet works properly this week. I can get a little bit more of that gaming done.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, right now it's working fine. Now, 30 minutes from now, there's no telling what's going to happen. So.
Oh shit.
Well, so far as being finicky, weird. That's fun. Oh man. Well, then you want to talk about some of the news stuff that maybe we'll get through and our Discord will crash out?
Boom.
No, why? No one cares that.
Of course, the video game that made everybody mad before the game ever came out, because it wasn't Diablo 4. Instead, it was, hey guys, you have phones, right? That game finally has made its way out, which is Diablo Immortal. It is, somebody has done the calculations that if you want to, with the microtransactions that are built into the game, if you want to fully max out a character, you're going to spend close to $100,000 to do so. Yeah. So I did the research earlier. Let's say you bought a vehicle for $100,000. Okay. And usually it's a traditional 6-year lease or 6-year ownership, right? Payment plan.
Okay. That's
about $1,400 a month, interest free. If you go interest free, it's $1,400 a month, basically.
Okay.
So it's like $1,388 something, whatever. We'll just say $1,400 for a 6 years. I am, but if you did it for the full year, it's like $8,000+ a month too. If you were, so I'm like, it's because it's 6 years, you would have a totally different makeup, a totally different meta, everything else that goes on there. So if you wanted to max out a character within 1 year's time, you'd spend over $8,000 a month in this game.
No, thank you.
And I
will not.
I mean,
at all.
It got banned in 2 countries immediately because it's so chock full of loot boxes.
Yeah, like from what I watched a little bit of that video, like that they have used every tactic those free to play mobile games use on people to get them to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, you're really enjoying our game. Well, buy these like 8 or 9 different passes. Each one is better than the last.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, imagine, like, you're just sitting there and you're going, hey, I love Diablo. Diablo's fantastic. Let me play this new Diablo game. $100,000 later. Yay! I finally have my character maxed.
I would not be surprised if they started going, hey, do you want to keep playing and not have your character die while they're being surrounded by a bunch of creatures? You can watch this ad, or you can pay us so that they don't die in time.
Right, you have to watch 2 ads. 1 ad only gets you half death. You might survive or not. It's a roll of the dice. With 1 ad. 2 though, guaranteed survival. Yeah, Blizzard.
We can't
just
say
now
we're really
preying on
surprised
everybody
either.
instead of just their employees, but whatever.
Yeah, we can't really say we're surprised either. Everybody saw this coming. As clear as the sky is blue.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, though. I mean, it's just not even a little surprising. Somebody in the comments mentioned that Activision Blizzard's burning the long-term fandom for short-term gains. Sorry, not games. Gains. And it's true. They're trying to make a quick buck on the Diablo crowd, but I don't know. I mean, there'll be some people that do it and spend the money on it. Probably not all of it, because that's a lot of money, but, you know. Stupid.
They could have made it to where they just did cosmetics. Like, here are 4 base things that are
that's
there.
not enough money.
Yeah, that's not enough money. That's not gonna... it's a free-to-play game that you have to pay to win at. So, you still have to be able to buy all of the important shit.
I mean, I agree and disagree. I guess because it's not it's not a PvP. Like, think of Fortnite. Fortnite, the only thing in it is cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
And they were making, they made $2 billion in 1 year. So it's like, I feel like nowadays you could do the cosmetics and you just have to make the shit really super cool and people do it,
But
and then
there
you
is a
gradually release parts of your game.
There's a huge difference where you get to shit on someone and then teabag them with your cool ass outfit versus just standing next to somebody and looking cool.
I don't know. I mean,
There is a
I do that all the
huge
time. I
difference.
stand next to people all the time and look cool, man.
Yeah, but that's not as cool as being able to beat somebody and then, teabag them with your Dwayne The
Banana
Rock
skin.
Johnson skin or whatever the fuck you
Or
are.
unicorn
these days.
skin and go, you got killed by a unicorn.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I guess. I just, it's the way they built that system was just, we all knew. Well, I mean, when it was announced, everybody said that. Look at the company that you hired to make this game.
Yeah.
This is what we know about this company. Good luck, And I think it's worse than their last game that they created. Not Blizzard, but the company that hired. Like their last mobile game. Like, this is more predatory than the other games that they
From my understanding of it, yeah.
oh yes. Oh
So
yes.
it's like, okay, it's already a predatory company, but this got worse when you put Blizzard in there with it. Great job, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. There has been a few announcements. We got most of the stuff we have to do has to do with announcements this week. We'll let Grif talk about this one because it is one of her favorite game series, and she's still not looking forward to this game, I don't think, right now, based on the expression on her face. But BioWare has confirmed that Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age game, Dragon Age, it would be Dragon Age 4 or whatever, is going to be
5.
Dreadwolf 5.
No, 4.
It's going to be Dreadwolf
It's 4.
It's 4. Yeah, you're right. 4.
4.
First of all, the acronym for this thing is killer.
Yeah, it's Dragon Age Dreadwolf, so it's DAD. This is dad. Also, calling it, like, if you've been following the franchise or if you just played Inquisition and you're going into this one and it's like Dreadwolf, it's like, little on the nose, you guys. Like, you just give up on trying to figure out something cool to call it and went, whatever, Dreadwolf. Good job, everybody, go team. I gotta agree with, I was reading through some of the comments on the article and I gotta agree with this person who was talking about, like, BioWare's recent stuff, like the Dragon Age games, they've kind of been less and less exciting. And this one's not really, like, boosting things. And it's not like I don't want them to hype me. It's just that they're not doing it right now. So, I don't know. They didn't show anything. It's just I guess the art for the logo, which some people are like, why does it look kind of sci-fi-y? And it's like, well, it's probably because it's taking place in Tevinter, and Tevinter's supposed to be the most technologically advanced in the Dragon Age world, so maybe that's why, but I don't know. I think they just wanted a different color than green since everything in the last one was green. So they just went purple. But purple has an inherently, like, sci-fi-ish look to it for some reason. So, I don't know. I'm not really excited about it. But I also think that's, like, I think EA's been pushing BioWare in a direction that they don't necessarily want to go, and they've lost so many of their original writers and so many of the original team that it's going to be... we made this game because they said we had to. Here's another Dragon Age, you guys. I think it's going to be every bit as inventive as the name. So.
It's not our fault, guys. They made us do it.
Honestly, I feel like BioWare is going to put more effort into the upcoming Mass Effect that they're working on than they did with this one. It was like, okay, let's just put this into Venter. We don't really know what we're doing with it, but it's a place that we haven't gone yet. So cool. Here's the thing. Are you guys gonna mention anything from the first Dragon Age or the second Dragon Age or any of the other characters? No. We did that in Inquisition. We'll just, who cares about all those people? We're following the Dread Wolf because everybody liked it. Cool.
And see, I think one of the problems with this one is that it's going to, like, in Dragon Age 1, it was the Grey Wardens and their fight in the world. And in Dragon Age 2, you followed Hawk, which was a single-focused character, but you dealt with the city. Mm-hmm. And in Inquisition, you were the Inquisitor dealing with the Inquisition, building up your ranks of an army, dealing with the war. And in this one, it just seems so much more funneled to where it's like one single protagonist. There's just one guy. Like one guy that the entire, like the one bad guy that revolves around the whole story. Sorry, the antagonist that the whole story revolves around. It's like, I kind of see where they kind of get that from, but it seems so much more narrow in scope compared to the other ones where, yeah, you had your prime antagonists in 1, 2, and 3, but there seemed like there was so much more, and the game didn't kind of feel like it dictated towards one specific enemy.
Do you feel, we had the discussion a few weeks ago about games having their end, like their story arc end.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's what they're trying to do by creating that single spot? Now you can go one direction or the other and create an entire line from scratch when you start with 5. Because they should have done it with 3 and maybe they didn't, and now you're doing this type deal?
They should have done it with 3, because if they were going to go single game story, they did it fine in Dragon Age 1, where it was the Grey Warden's arc, done, cut it off, move on. Then they tried with a specific character that you made and followed, and then they should have cut that off and moved on, and then they made Inquisition, where they're like, well, let's pull in so much from Dragon Age 2 and make something new. And it's like, oh, all right, you're just like sticking mashed potatoes and peas together, and okay, it's good, I like it, and then they're just now like they're smearing it all over the plate, and it's like, okay, now I think we're getting.
I'm not gonna lie, now I'm hungry. Thanks for that, bro.
I think what they're doing, and this is a little spoilery if you haven't played Inquisition yet, so if you want to like step away for a few minutes, or whatever, but you find out through the course of Inquisition that the Dread Wolf, Fen'Harel, whatever, this old elven god dude, was responsible for why we have, a tear in the veil and why the Black City and this, that, and the other. Like, there's a whole bunch of shit that he's responsible for, and he wants to put things back to the way it was in his time. And then you realize the whole time that you were, doing all of this stuff, he was actually one of your party members, and big surprise, he's gonna go off and be the big bad. And you only find out that he's gonna go off and be the big bad if you play DLC that actually should have been just the end of the game. But whatever.
Guess what? They did that in 2.
Well, no, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying what they're gonna...
No, I mean, that's bad. Like, they shouldn't. Yeah. You shouldn't put like main critical plot points
should be the
that
main
shift
game.
the direction of the entire game in DLC.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because you find out
awful.
in the DLC for Dragon Age 2 who the antagonist is in Inquisition, but if you didn't play that DLC like me, you're like, I don't know who this dude is. Even, like, subsequent playthroughs where I had played Dragon Age 2, but not the DLC, I was like, how does Varric know so much about this and all of it? Oh, because there's DLC that I didn't play that explains everything. Okay, cool. But what they're going to do, I think, in kind of an addition to Oak's thought process of should they have ended it, this may possibly be world-rending, so that we have, like, kind of a fresh start over of Thetis after this one. So I think that might be what they're doing, is they're going to try to like, oh no, and this big conflict, and then at the end the stuff blows up, and now this is how the world is. Or by the end of it, stuff blows up and then we have to restart, and we find out that that's where Mass Effect starts. Who knows?
So what, we're gonna get like a Dragon Age Primal, where they're gonna do like the Far Cry style, where we go back 10,000 years?
Purple. So like sci-fi.
Yeah, see?
Right?
You're leading up to...
So same universe, just, okay. I see where we're going right here. I got you.
So
magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
good possibility.
And then after the events of Mass Effect and everything went bad, because, Shepard chose the correct ending and blew up everything as far as technology goes, then you get the Anthem world because they had to start over again and everybody's more isolated, but they still have technology. So, see, I just strung them all together for you. That's the whole BioWare family. I did it.
And then since Anthem's not being redone and not had anything added to it, everything ends with Anthem. Great. Bad ending. You chose the bad ending.
You chose poorly.
Good Lord, what I wouldn't give for them to rework Anthem so that it didn't have to be as stupid as it was. Just like, let me play the storyline and stuff.
Some of the best mechanics ever in a video game, followed by a mediocre story and terrible support.
Yep.
Ugh, feels so bad, man.
So, maybe
So
he
bad.
was right. Maybe they're just trying to reboot completely. By the end of it,
I mean, they have to do it right?
Yes.
But here's what they're gonna do, just to mess with you a little bit more. They're gonna end the game, and you're gonna be satisfied with that, right? And then they're gonna come out with 2 DLCs, not 1, but 2, and you got to play those to figure out what's gonna end up happening for the next world.
It'll be Dragon Age, the big Mass Effect, and and Dragon Age. Listen to our anthem.
Oh no! Stop it!
Oh, too funny.
Good Lord.
Too funny. Other announcements this week.
There was a lot.
Nintendo has given us information on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It has 4-player co-op and is a fully open world to roam. To our 2 Pokemon masters that are there right now. What do you guys think of this?
I want to learn more about the multiplayer and how that's going to work, especially between the 2 versions of the game. I mean, it's got me interested. I've always wanted like some kind of co-op form of Pokemon to go through with a friend, because I've always thought it would be fun. But yeah, they're definitely going to need a bit more info on how that's going to work. I am also not a fan of the starter Pokemon.
Oh, one of them's a cute pig that everybody's making fun of because his name is LeChonk.
That is not a starter Pokemon.
Oh, that's
Nerd.
not the starter
Pokemon.
one? Okay, I thought
No.
I thought those were the 3 starter ones.
No,
No,
it's like
the-
a duck, water duck, a grass cat, and I don't know what the fuck the
Oh,
third
those
one
are the starter ones.
It's
Okay.
it's a fire lizard.
Those look ridiculous.
Yeah, they seem extra weird.
The lizard, like, okay, the cat and the duck, okay, but the fire one for some reason this time looks just
Stupid.
it just looks out of place.
But to jump to different subjects, a lot of people are assuming that all of the Pokemon in this one is going to take our total Pokemon count to 999.
Good Lord.
And on the 30th anniversary of Pokemon's release, they will announce the 1,000th Pokemon. So in about 3 years, we will have our 1,000th Pokemon.
Good
That's right,
Lord.
1,000 Pokemon.
Wow. This the
In
30th
30
anniversary
years.
Pokemon.
30 years.
Wow.
I
I don't know.
mean,
I don't mind them. I'm kind of I like the cat and the duck. Yes, but the lizard looking thing is strange.
They just seem so simple. Like, unbelievably simple.
Yeah, I'm thinking those are gonna be starter Pokemon that everybody's like, okay, I started with it, now I found something cooler. Thanks.
Like,
I'm just wondering if their evolutions are a lot more complex.
I mean, maybe they do look really cool later on and do cool things, but
well, I'm sure they will.
I
don't know, you
bet
kind of-
everyone
at some-
takes the Leaf Cat though. That's gonna be the most popular one.
Depends if it becomes bipedal or not.
Stop.
Everyone's so tired of like all like the 4-legged animals becoming bipedal. It's like just let them stay like giant kitties.
The dog one
I
stayed
guess
a
we'll
dog,
see.
didn't it?
The final form is going to be some weird cat girl.
Oh no.
That is what everybody is assuming. Like everybody's like, "Oh yeah, look how cute it is," and then watch it evolve into some weird cat girl thing.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm calling it now. The duck one's final evolution is gonna basically be like that Pokemon that's super ripped and has the abs and everything, but it's gonna have the duck head and like flat feet. So it's gonna be a super ripped weirdo duck mutant.
Whatever the
Or it
duck
could just
evolves
be
into,
Donald Duck at the end. Like,
whatever the duck evolves into is going to be emphasis on the hair.
Yeah, I guess all the big blue
Like
hair.
watching the animations, watching him just kind of switch his hair and like move it. Like it's going to be a lot of emphasis on the hair.
he's got like an
For
Elvis
some
look
reason,
at the end.
the first thing I thought of when Grif was talking about a weird mutated duck thing, I went into Ninja Turtles. There is a duck pilot guy in the toys that used eggs as grenades.
No, that's babies. What's wrong with you? Oh my god.
I did not
That's
create
messed
this toy.
up.
I own the toy.
Maybe
He
they're
also had a
grenades that
hat.
look like eggs, not eggs being used as grenades. So maybe, they just made them look that way, but they're really grenades.
Maybe I don't know. Like I just remember like they were basically white little things that went on a belt. You can stick them on his hands, and they were basically like grenades.
So he's like the juiced up version of Launchpad McQuack, right? Like from
He's not juiced up. He's like a scrawny pilot looking dude.
Oh, really? Just scrawny? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was the one that was going with the jacked duck look for the weirdo thing.
Also, I see it a little misleading because it says Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the first open world RPGs in the Pokemon series. They literally just released Pokemon Legends Arceus earlier this year, which is a fully open world
RPG.
Well, I guess it depends on how they define that, because if there are no load screens at all and you are completely open in its entirety, then yes, it is, because there are sections in Pokemon Legends where you go to the different areas. Which, to be fair, they may have made that one quickly and to see how people felt about it, and then they're like, all right, cool, people enjoyed that, and like this is what they've been working on behind the scenes the whole time. So, I mean, maybe it is completely first up. You played Sword and Shield, didn't you, Baka?
Yes.
Okay, is that game completely open world?
Not really. Like they open world it in like sections. Like you have like an area you go in that it's like, hey, this is an area we have off where you can just kind of roam around there and catch Pokemon. And then you go to the next area. Then it's like, okay, well now you're back on like a kind of a linear pathway. Kind of like when they first started putting RPGs into like 3D and trying to keep the open world, that they had to divide it into sections.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, they may have fully opened up this game, and like with the multiplayer, watching how they play, it's weird because you could go and do whatever you want. You're not tethered to each other. You basically just play in a shared world.
Huh.
Like
We have to get these games chicken and try them.
like you're not tethered to each other, which blows my mind. Like, how does the game dictate who you've battled? Like, how, do you do double battles? Like, how does the game change, if at all? Can you just watch each other battle gyms and whatnot? Like, explore through the world, take turns battling the gym
If
leaders
one
and
person
shit like
is
that?
battling, if the other person walks up, do they automatically join the battle?
Like, there's
I
a
feel like
lot
there's
of
a
questions.
sense of honor there that you wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, probably for gym leaders, and you can take the game at any pace that you want. Like, you can go to any of the gyms in any order that you want, which is something that people have been asking for a long time. Like, if I go to the last gym leader first, is he lenient on me? Is he like, oh, you've got 0 badges, so I'm going to use 2 Pokemon this time? And then, you go to him last, and he's like, well, you've got 7 badges. I'm going to use 6 Pokemon this time.
I think there's a manga that explains some of that. Like
That's actually the Pokemon mini series on YouTube when Red goes to Brock for the first time and talks to him, and he's like, oh, I see that you don't have any badges, and he opens up the little container on the wall, and there are 6 Pokemon. He's like, I'm going to use these 2. And it's a low-level Geodude and Onix. So
Yeah.
like, so is that the route they're going with this? Because if so, having dynamic gameplay in a game like this is where the series needs to go.
It'd be interesting to see.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they take this thing.
I think
We definitely need more info on how all that's gonna work.
I think you've got a couple months, and they'll give you a lot more information.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So PlayStation had their state of play as well. They're the first of our major announcements coming up for the next week or so. That should have been, I guess we're just going to call it not E3. It's
Yes.
not E3 week.
Wasn't it like
the
Merv or
PlayStation state of
something?
play. I was kind of, they had a couple of announcements, but I was kind of disappointed it wasn't longer. Like, it was just kind of a short thing. I know Chicken is somewhat excited about Resident Evil 4 remake.
We've already known about it. We've been waiting to finally hear something about it, and we finally gotten to see something about it. It looks super good. It looks super incredibly good. The tone they're taking seems to be a more realistic tone, which, I mean, is not a bad thing. The Resident Evil 2 remake was absolutely, like, uncomparably good. Resident Evil 3 remake was unbelievably awful. So the Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be one of those things where it's either, yeah, you really did good, or no, you didn't. Like,
Man, maybe they learned their lesson from the 3 about gutting it so much.
like stay true to it, and you better let me save the Dogo at the beginning of the game, like you better put the Dogo back in there. So it's the small things like that that make the game even better. But the thing is you can't ever redo the wonder that was the first time in playing games like that. And maybe they could add like secrets and different styles, because I remember the first time ever playing Resident Evil 4, you go to the village event and you're just, going through and you're trying to survive and whatnot, and you go into a house and you go to another house to try to pick up stuff, and then you go into the one house and it plays a cinematic and you're like, oh, what's this? Oh shit, you activated the chainsaw guy, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? And now you're trapped in a house with the chainsaw dude chasing after you. You hear the window upstairs smash because they just threw a ladder up there, and you're like,
Uh-oh.
well, fuck, what the fuck am I doing? You run upstairs to see the shotgun on the wall, and you grab that motherfucker, and you're like, oh boy, here we go. And then you just see them trying to start coming in through the window, and you're like, fuck. Like, the intensity that moments like that build into the game, because they're unexpected. You're just kind of trying to survive, and then it literally throws you a curveball, and you're like, oh shit.
Now what?
What happened? Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how they try to...
I'm interested to see what they do with this remake.
It also seems like they're trying to connect 4 and 8. It really feels like they are retconning the entire series to fit into this new canon.
Yeah.
So, which,
But-
I mean, isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, it means that we're gonna eventually get to Wesker, and then he's still in his little lava pit, and he's gonna come back, and we're gonna be awesome.
No. Like, if they retcon 5, it's not even going to be the same.
Well, I mean, but you can't cut him out of 5 altogether.
No, you're not going to cut him out of 5. One of the things that I absolutely need is that at the end, because we didn't see him in 2 or 3, Wesker is not behind the scenes playing bad guy. What I need to see, because Ada, which she is in here,
Yeah.
and Krauser better be in here too, is that they're working for, or Krauser's working for Sadler, but Ada is working for Wesker.
Yeah. But they gotta show us the connection, right?
At the end of assignment Ada, she's talking to him on the radio.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, you
Okay.
see him, he's still in the series. He's been completely MIA. So
Because he's
you have
doing
to...
bad stuff somewhere.
Hey, he's one of the greatest video game villains.
Yeah. Don't rob us of that.
Absolute lunatic with an unbelievable god complex.
Well, he's got the powers to go with it.
I know, right? He's kind of godlike powers, so
Yeah, no shit. Like, he
Can't
wants to
help
release
but go for that way,
Ouroboros to evolve humanity. If you okay, whatever, bro. You fucking crazy. I'm just gonna blow you up with a rocket launcher and a volcano.
Some of the other things to kind of quickly move through this, we've got to see some first look games for the new PSVR 2. I don't think we've seen the actual PSVR 2, but we've seen some of the games that are going to be on it.
Yeah.
Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is part of the Horizon series, and then a couple other games. They're doing Resident Evil Village VR.
Nice.
And then they're also doing No Man's Sky in PSVR 2 as well. I think both of which would really suit with VR, would be really nice.
Oh yes, I bet the No Man's Sky is going to be a blast in VR.
One of the big announcements that everybody has been waiting for is Spider-Man is coming to PC finally, and this shows me that Sony is wanting to embrace PC a little bit.
Well, I mean, it makes money,
Finally.
so why
Finally,
wouldn't you?
But it's gonna be interesting to see if they go to the Epic Game Store only, or if they come to PC, or if they come to Steam. Which, if I'm not mistaken, Horizon Zero Dawn and those games are on Steam too.
I think so. I know
Horizon Zero Dawn is.
Yeah, I know.
Forbidden
Like,
West
God of
is not.
War is too. God of War is also on Steam.
is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
it is. Like, I feel
Yes,
like
it's on
It is.
Steam.
I feel like they release stuff on Epic Game Store, and after their little exclusivity deal leaves, they're like, all right, now we can put it on Steam and everywhere else.
And
I
I
mean-
feel like what they're going to do, like just based on this, because it looks like they're going to have the Miles Morales stuff out this autumn as well on PC, which is good. Both games are really, really good. They're bringing both of those over to PC. What I feel like they're doing is they're going, okay, we're going to give it a couple years on PlayStation exclusive, start moving this stuff over to PC for a year on most likely Epic, and then move it over to Steam afterwards. But I think it would behoove them to do both at the same time. God of War did hit both at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's a smart plan because you're kind of like, you got different ponds that you're dropping your hook into, and you can make money dropping your games into the PC market.
definitely. We got to see footage finally of a teaser that we got, I think, at the Game Awards, which is Callisto Protocol. It's by one of the creators of Dead Space.
Which is why it looks like Dead Space.
And it was supposed to be connected originally to the PUBG universe,
like,
which I'd forgotten about. And it is no longer part of that universe.
Good,
Thank
cool.
God.
Thank
Yeah.
God. I don't know why they decided to go with that universe to connect it to.
Yeah, that's stupid. But
It's,
it definitely
Very-
looks very Dead Space. Like, Dead Space meets Resident Evil is kind of how it feels.
a little minor announcement as well. The game that a lot of people went nuts about before is the fact that you could be a cat called Stray. That game is supposed to be coming out in July. The game footage actually looks pretty neat. I thought it was pretty awesome. And then of course we've got a longer trailer of Final Fantasy 16 as well. For the Final Fantasy people out there, what'd you all think of Final Fantasy 16? Want to see
haven't
more?
watched
Are
the
you
trailer,
excited?
but,
Or
I watched it.
I mean, I know exactly what to expect from a Final Fantasy game. It's gonna be the exact same.
I think the difference in this one is it looks like, usually you have your party with you. It looks like they don't have a party this time. It looks like it's you and your person, but they, like, stylistically, it's very hard to tell from that trailer if they did go back to the
You're gonna
pause
have
the
a
combat
party.
thing.
You're gonna have a party, 100%. They're just restricting you from seeing it so that they don't want any spoilers.
Well, they very much, like, hid stuff. Like I said, they hid it so that you couldn't tell if it was the quick time event or what's the word I'm looking for, chicken? The combat.
Which kind?
Your turn,
Either
my turn. Your turn, my turn.
Turn-based?
Yes, turn-based. I told you my brain is slow today. It cannot. I wonder if it couldn't tell if it was going to be turn-based where you pick your moveset and then, the combat starts and you get the animation of it, or if it is going to be like 15 where it's an action game.
I think they, especially after they've changed 7 over to that same style that 15 is, I don't think you're going to have the standard turn-based anymore. I think it's going to be an option that's in their menu, but I don't think that's going to be the only option anymore.
Yeah, because I turned it on, and it basically, whenever, like, if you stop doing actions, it pauses. Or if you go into your menu, it pauses. Like, you can, like, do your little items, and it pauses the combat, and you can do that, and, you know, which is how I played, because being able to kind of stop for a second, reassess, and then, you know, go back to it is critical to those kind of games, because they are strategic styles. It's like Dragon Age Origins. They are strategic style games where, you know, and they have, you know, playing on easy mode or whatever, you can just slam your head into the enemies as long as you want and you win. Fair enough.
I wasn't playing on easy, but I didn't do the pause the combat thing. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna go kill things now.
Yeah, but I love Final Fantasy V, but there was not that much of a challenge in it at all. Like, none of the bosses really felt like bosses. Some of the things out in the world felt so much better than anything else, than any, like, the actual forced combat. Hell, the last fight was just so easy. I mean, they kind of just just threw you OP weapons and just were like, go do it. This is more cinematic than actual combat.
Yeah, I could definitely get that feeling.
Like, the one big Ifrit fight was nice. It was a little difficult, but not even that much.
Overall, there's a few announcements and whatnot, and some of it looks neat, and some of it looks kind of okay. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. There's not a whole lot of games, I don't think, for either console this year. If you check online, you would think that, you know, Sony had 700 games coming out this year. If you talk to somebody that's a Sony fan, there's not a whole lot of stuff that's coming out for either console, and I think a lot of this is just rollover from dealing with COVID.
True.
And last thing that we've got on here is Embracer Group, which is our favorite group, formerly known as THQ Nordic, which they will always be THQ Nordic for me.
They still technically are THQ Nordic. That's the parent company, or
right.
Well, I guess the Embracer Group is the parent company. They're
and
run
then they
by
have THQ Nordic.
Yeah, they're run by THQ Nordic. However you want to put that shit together.
Yep. But they finally did what somebody should have started doing years ago, which they are trying to catalog and archive as many video games as possible. They currently have 50,000 games that they have archived, and they're trying to bring more in. They don't have a per se wanted list yet, but this is awesome. Like, knowing that these games can be available and live on type thing is awesome, because they're pieces of art.
They want every single physical released game ever made to be put in their library, their archive system, which is absolutely incredible. And like, every time I come across comment sections, I always look at it, because every time Embracer Group comes up, it's like, I want to see what people actually think. And I've seen people go like, do we get behind them? Are they a good company? Everyone's like, I think we do. I think they're actually good people. And I learned that the dude who owns all of this, who started all of this, is a college dropout who started a comic book store at like 21, and like grew from there to own the biggest collection of video game companies in the world, because he absolutely, like, he's a businessman first, which, I mean, it kind of shows. I mean, he's like running this kind of corporation, and he has a lot of respect for the companies, because everything that I've ever read from anybody in any of the companies, it's like they come in, they buy you, and then they're like, you do your business. I don't care. If your game makes money, that's fine. We're not going to tell you to make more money. If it makes money, why do we want you to try to make more money and then screw it up?
Yeah.
Like, if you're cruising down the road, why go faster? Fuck it. Just, you doing business, you keep doing business. We're going to keep sitting up here. Exactly. They're not pushing for more profits. They're not like harking on their people to push out games faster. They're just like, we're going to build this giant collection of studios, and we're going to make sure that they have a huge umbrella to work under and work at their pace. It's like,
Yeah.
Go on, be free, play on the playground, have fun. And doing this just kind of makes the whole entire game culture community look at you go, I like that. I'd
Yeah.
like to go to the archive someday and see every single video game ever made.
That'd be cool.
Like everything.
It'd be fantastic. Well, I mean, think of it. It's almost like a Smithsonian of video games based on
Yeah.
what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that having that archive was there. And at some point, I mean, you could see him going, all right, if you pay, I don't know, $50 a year, you can go on from games from the 70s and 80s and be able to play them on a browser or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And search them and be able to play these. And, you know, because like my kids aren't going to get to play some of the games that I played growing up just because the technology's improved and those, it's hard to find something that's going to be able to play on that.
Yeah.
But if you have that archive, you have that availability to be able to put them on something to where people can play them. And I can go, this is the game I was talking about right here. Yeah, there was a Goonies game for, you know, Nintendo. There you go.
Yeah, see right
whatever.
here, look at this thing.
Like Goonies 2. It's a horrible game. But anything else, guys?
No, I
No,
think that's
no.
it. We'll have more stuff next week because it's Game Fest this week. So.
I know next week's all not E3 week. Woo!
Woohoo!
And just before the show will be
Oh, that's right.
will be an opportunity to watch the Xbox Bethesda stuff together.
Yeah, it's
so
like
we
right
just before
before.
we record the show, we'll be able to watch that and then go into the recording of the show. So that'll be fresh in our heads too. So next week should be really fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. You can check out Grif.
At Grif's Lineup.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
Check out Baka.
Baka Bickham.
Also, make sure that you go to Grif's YouTube channel where she's got Dragon Age Origins on there. But then she's got all these other games. And you should go on there and you should hit the subscribe button. And then you should hit the little bell thing. And then when, you know, things come on, you know, you just watch everything. Just watch everything. That's all I'm asking is watch my friend play all the
Watch
games.
all
That's
the
all I'm
stuff.
asking. All the stuff. All the games that are there. That's what I need to play. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313, where during the fall, Chicken will be back being able to play video games. Once he does that, then, you know, you get to watch him all fall long. And if you hit the follow button now, you're not having to worry about, oh, did I hit that follow button or not? You hit it now. And when he goes live, you'll get those announcements at that particular time. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/MDB Oaktree, where you can follow me as well. But hopefully my internet's back to working today, and then I'll be live again because I miss it. I really miss it. I do. But for Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.